Hi and welcome back to the Simple Stitcher. I'm so glad that you could join me. A lot's happened since my last video in December, and I've got quite a bit to share. I've got, excuse me, I'm looking at my notes because I've tried to do this video 3 times and got lost every time. So I've got WIPS to go through, I've got acquisitions and purchases to go through, I've got a couple of big ones. Got a new floor stand which was very exciting and it's going really well. I definitely recommend that, so I'll share that with you. I did, over the Christmas break, I sorted out my stitching stuff and just did a couple of simple things to get myself organised, and they're going really well. And I've also got a couple of books to go through that I've been reading. I've seen other people in their videos doing book reviews, and a lot of us stitchers love our reading, and even though I've been studying, I had time to do some reading over Christmas for some books that I purchased, and I've really enjoyed either what I've finished or what I'm currently reading, so I thought I would share those with you. And that's it. And then by the time I do that, there's probably going to be heaps. So first off, WIPS. What have I been working on over Christmas? Since my last video and at the moment. I started back at uni this week, so there's 2 nights a week where I can't stitch, but between Christmas and then even the nights that I am not at university and I get home after work, I've been getting a couple of hours stitching in, so I'm still making progress, which is really good. So I worked on 4 projects since my last video. I don't remember if in my last video, in my last video I'm pretty sure I was working on the White Rabbit for the Brooks Books Wonderland series. I have since finished the White Rabbit. I didn't get it finished in December, by the end of December as I was planning, but I have, sorry, I just had a brain fade. But I got it finished in the first couple of days of January, and I'm on track. I've started, I had a little break and I've started my next one, which is Queen of Hearts from that series. I'm not sure if you're new to my videos or you remember from my last video, my plan is to do 1 character a month, which may or may not happen, but I'm going to try and do 1 character a month. So I'll show you what I've done. So this is on my stand at the moment because I'm currently working on it. So this is White Rabbit finished up. Hold this fabric out of the way. White Rabbit. Got the light on above me because the light was a bit ordinary here. I'm doing the video in my stitching spot. This is where I sit and I stitch in my lounge room. I've got a 3-seater sofa, and I set up with my floor stand in front of me. I have all my stuff beside me, my boxes on either side, and I've got my light and that. But because I've closed all the blinds so that we don't get reflection on the screen, it's got a bit dark. So I've also put my lamp on above, but I'm not sure if it's washing things out a little bit. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So, and I'll show you my stitching spot as well, so you can see how I'm set up and how I stitch with all my cushions and blankets propped around me and everything to make me comfortable. But anyway, I'll show you that at the end. So this is White Rabbit. Can't see it in the video, but when I stitched him, I mucked up the. Let me try turning this side off. That's a bit better. There's red back stitching in his jacket that's supposed to be there, except I didn't read the chart properly and did it with a blue thread. But I'm actually really happy with the way it turned out, so I decided to leave it. And it looks great. He's really good. The only thing that bothers me is because I've got light fabric, I'm not sure if his face is getting lost in the lighter part, so I may end up at the end, once I've done all of them and I see how they all turn out, I might put a little bit of a light grey back stitching around just to define around his, because he's got teeth here and he's got the bottom of his jaw, but it really does get lost. And I know you can't see it very well on there, but you also can't really see it very well in person either. So I might just add some definition there. And then this is the Queen of Hearts that I've started stitching. Spent about 12 hours work so far. And I'm a bit all over the shop stitching it. I've done some of the checkers down the bottom. I've got 4 black little squares to go, and then I've just got 2 colours to fill in this grass. And then I've done some of the bottom of her dress here. I've got to add in some stuff, some Krennic. I don't know if I've got it. And I started on the little hedgehog. I thought he was cute, so I started on him last night. And that's lovely. And it's coming up really well, really quickly. So I should be able to get this done by the end of the month. Don't see too much problem with that. And the fabric's beautiful. This is Colour Cascade Silver Springs. I think it's 32 count Belfast linen maybe. I've ordered another piece, as I've said previously, just in case, because I didn't measure when I started stitching these and this. Doing 6 across and then 6 below, just in case I run out of room. I don't have enough room down the bottom, on the bottom fabric. For the second row, I'll stitch the top 6, one piece, and then on another piece I'll stitch the bottom 6. We'll see, cross that bridge when I get to it. There's like 6 months away before I have to worry about that. So yeah, it looks great. I'm really pleased. That's my first finish for the year. I don't get many finishes because I stitch big projects and I keep picking big projects. I don't get a lot of finishes, so I'm just going to put this light back on. It's a bit dark. Because I stitch big projects, I don't get a lot of finishes, so it was really nice to have my first finish, and that's one of my goals for this year, is to have a finish each month, which I'm hoping is achievable, as long as study doesn't take up all my free time, which shouldn't, but we'll see. And on here is one of my acquisitions. I got the Frosted Pumpkin Happily Ever After needle minder. I'm spewing actually a little bit. When they did all the release of all the past Frosted Pumpkin needle minders, I didn't have the money at the time, and so I didn't buy all of them. But then I see them on other people's works and in photos, and I'm like, no, I really wanted them. I wish I'd got them. But maybe might be lucky, and next year they might release them again, all of them, and hopefully I'll have the money at the time and I'll snap them all up, because they're very cute, and I've decided that I do like them. So anyway, that's my little needle minder with my needles on it at the moment. So that's really pretty, and you can see the sparkle. It's opalescent fabric and it's really sparkly. And when I post photos on Instagram, my Instagram account, which is the Simple Stitcher, you often can't see them. No matter how hard you try, and I know everyone's the same, but you can see the sparkle. So that's wonderful. So I've spent about 12 hours so far on the Queen of Hearts, and I'm tracking that. And I don't know how long I spent. I had about 13 hours on the White Rabbit, but I was at least halfway done, I think, on stitching that before I started like keeping track of my time. Anyway, so that's the first. Actually, I'll put this back on my stand. So that's where it was. Oh, sorry. Okay. So then the other project that I worked on over Christmas, and I put a lot of time into this project, and I'm so pleased that I did. I have had this WIP for quite some time, and it's just sat there. I did a bit on it, and then I got bored with it, and I stopped stitching it. Over Christmas, I decided to pull it out, and I spent 30 hours on it over Christmas, and got a lot done, and it's fantastic. I'm getting close to a finish now, which is very exciting. So it'll be my first bigger finish for me. It's got a bit folded up. I put it in my pillow slip with my projects that aren't on a frame, that I'm not working on right now, and it's got creased in the bag. Somehow it got crumpled, which is irritating, so I'll have to iron it. But anyway, so just ignore that. So this is the project. It's Halloween Fairy by Nora Corbett, and I would have shown you in my plans. I'd done basically from about here up. And so over Christmas, I did all of this down here. So the lighting. So I've done the bottom of her dress, filled in all the Krennic. I've done the beading of the swirls, the little fiery swirls on this side, and I've done all the Krennic and the back stitching and the beading on this side. I've still got more of this swirly stuff over here and the orange pumpkin. I have a feeling I might run out of the Krennic. Maybe if I put it over this way. Oh, is that better? I think that's better. And then above her head, so I've got sort of that much of the green swirly and the cobwebs on this side, and a big pumpkin. And then above her head, I've got some swirls and a cloud to finish off. So, but that's doable. So I plan to get that finished by March, because I'm thinking that I think ahead. And like this, I'm thinking for my birthday present, because I get to choose what I want. I might get this framed if I can get it finished in time. Get it framed up, and it will be my first ever framed cross stitch piece, which I am super excited about. So that might be my birthday present. But it's definitely doable now. Finish off this little bit down here and then do the beading and the moon at the top, and she's done. And she looks stunning. The iPad doesn't do justice to it, and the lighting, but I haven't sorted that out. This is the first video in this position, so I'll have to do a bit more testing. But anyway, so I spent 30 hours on that over Christmas and got that done. And you're wondering why I'm quoting hours. The reason I'm quoting hours is because I started using my stitching diary, and it's been great fun. At first, when I started using it, I got really stressed about how I was going to achieve all these goals, and started getting pains in my chest, and I'm like, oh, this isn't fun, this is stressful, about how I was going to achieve my goals and noting down hours and stuff. And then I went, bugger it, it's just for a bit of, you know, a bit of just to see how long things are taking, and just for a bit of fun, bit of, you know, I can look back and go, oh, I spent that long on that project, oh, I worked on this project then, you know, and it's been great. I'm actually really enjoying it. Every time I sit down, I write down when I start, when I finish, add up the hours, and as example, I'm going to change it slightly, but for example, this week I stitched on Monday night, and I wrote in what I stitched, and when I started and stopped, I just round it. Couldn't stitch Tuesday, I was at uni. Wednesday I stitched the Wonderland Queen again. Thursday I was at uni, and yesterday I actually had the day off, and I stitched there, and when I start and stop, I just write the hours that I'm doing on the side, and then subtotal it. And then what I'm doing is I'm putting a running total in the little I'm grateful for column box, with what the opening hours were, so I can just follow it along. This is the accountant in me. What I've stitched this week and the total, and then that running total will follow over into the next week. So at the moment I know I've stitched on my mushroom and fur mandala 23 hours. I've stitched 7 3/4 hours on my May Gibbs, which I'll show you as well. Snuggle Waddle Babies cross stitch, and Queen of Hearts I only started stitching this week, so no opening balance, and I'll slot them in. But the thing I'm going to do is I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to use the to-do list, I think, which has got more space. It'll be easier. So it's good. I'm having a lot of fun with this. So yeah, enjoying that. And what I'm also doing, and then I forgot to do it for some of my purchases, is when something arrives in the mail, I put in what it is in my diary when I receive it and what it is, and that's just a bit of fun. It helps me keep track of what I'm buying and thinking about what I'm spending, and finishes. So that was where I finished my White Rabbit on Monday, 2nd of January. So that was very exciting. So yeah, it's good. Having fun with that. So because I'm thinking in hours at the moment, that's why I'm quoting hours. So, just open that back up. The other WIP that I'm working on, I started this last week on Friday. So today is Sunday 21st of January, if I haven't said it. Last Friday I went down to Melbourne and stayed at my mum's because I had to help her. I was helping her out with some stuff at home with her fish pond. The pump had died and the filter, and so went down and set her up with my one that I had in storage down at her house, and we changed it all over. So I went down Friday night, stayed, and I took the projects I'm working on at the moment are all pretty big, and they all require, I don't like stitching one-handed with a frame on big stuff. I like to have them on my floor stand. So I decided to pull out, which was one of my purchases, my May Gibbs Wattle Babies. So I started this on Friday. I've done, this is 7 hours work, done back stitching, some back stitching, and I made pretty good progress. Very, very cute. May Gibbs is an Australian artist and storyteller, and most Australians will know May Gibbs stories and characters from their childhood. And I am collecting her kits. So I've got the Wattle Babies one, the Gumnut Baby one, which I think I showed you in my last video. I've got Delphinium Babies, and I just ordered off eBay from a lady Christmas Bell Babies and Flax Babies. So I would like to get these done, and they're not a hard stitch. That's pretty quick. Like I got that done in a day, so that's good, and they're very, very cute. So I worked on that because I can put it on a small frame and just stitch in hand without it being too awkward and too heavy, and it's easy to cut up and around. And sorry, I'm just going to reach to show you. That's what it's ultimately going to look like there. So I've done that little bit there, got that to do, so that's doable. And these are the two I've just bought, and I've already got this one, so they're very sweet. So that's a good fun stitch, and that's achievable as well. I might have 2 to frame by my birthday. That would be exciting. So that's one of my purchases. I got that between my last video. I think in my last video I'd bid on it, but I hadn't won it yet on eBay. Well, I won it and it's been delivered. So that's that. And then, okay. My last WIP was also my Christmas present from my mum, which I mentioned in my last video. It arrived after Christmas, and then I didn't start it either straight away until the new year, when I got some fabric that I'd ordered arrived, which I was very, very pleased about. So it's my chatelaine. Everyone's doing chatelaines at the moment, and I've had my eye on chatelaines for a number of years, but given that I live in Australia, the cost of conversion and then shipping and all that sort of stuff makes it quite an expensive project. And so I hadn't purchased one. I had my eye on the Chinese garden mandala for a number of years, and then when I was ready to make a decision and I decided, I discovered the mushroom and fern mandala. I don't have a picture of it. Oh, I do actually. I'll show you the picture. I might have to rustle in a bag. And as soon as I saw the mushroom and fern mandala, that was it. That was the one I was doing. I will probably might do the Chinese garden one next, but I'm going to finish this one first before I buy any more chatelaines. So the fabric that I ordered some fabric from, I'm just interspersing my purchases with my WIPs because they're all interwoven, so there might not be very much at the end. So I ordered fabric from Sparklies, and this is opalescent oatmeal. Sorry, I'm just getting out the piece of plastic that the details on. So it's opalescent oatmeal on 32 count Murano. And it's 27 inch by 27 inch piece. And I love it. I didn't want white to stitch this on. But I didn't want a strong, and I wanted maybe some hand dyed. It didn't have to be hand dyed, but a nice piece of subtly dyed fabric. And so I ordered 3 pieces, 3, not 2, 3 pieces of fabric from Sparklies. And one of them that I ordered was this oatmeal fabric, and I am really, really pleased. It's perfect for the piece. It's just a soft coffee colour, latte type colour, and it's perfect. So this is where I've got to, and I can't see. Ooh, banging on stuff. Getting caught on my center lamp, on my lamp. So there's a lot of specialty stitches in it, which I'm really, really enjoying. It's been a process of, I never frogged anything, but I got through the first quarter of the circle, and was on my way to stitching the second quarter when I realised, when I looked at other people's photos, that I had effed up. And my stitches look nothing like what other people were doing in theirs. And I'd read the chart wrong. So I have a number of tips if you're stitching a chatelaine, or if you're thinking about it and you're a newbie like I was and never ever stitched a chatelaine. I was stitching from the black and white chart that I got from European Cross Stitch, and I would recommend ordering the online, the PDF colour version from Martina's website, because the charts are so detailed and the charts are actually color coded, and I found the black and white just didn't pick up the distinctions. It just wasn't clear about what you were stitching, and reading that I did Algerian stitches, which wasn't color coding issue. Well, it was me not reading the chart properly and understanding the way to read it, where it should have been road stitches, and there was a number of other issues. So I have ripped out numerous parts of this first quarter and restitched it, but it's now correct and I am now super pleased and it looks fantastic. Simple things where I went wrong were, it's hard to see, but they were Algerian stitches and they should have been what they are, the road stitches, and I'd stitched here in the wrong colour. Somehow I read it wrong. My advice with chatelaines is read the chart really well. And I thought I was, but I still stuffed it. And these little triangles, diamonds here, there's two colours in that, of the Karen Water Lilies and Karen Wildflower, and they're the same colour but different thread. And I stitched them in the Wildflower, not realising that there was a Water Lily in the same colour. So I had to rip them out. I ripped them out and restitched them in the Water Lily. Yeah, and just, I made so many mistakes. I stitched things in completely different colours and things in metallics that weren't metallics. It was a disaster. I posted on the Chatelaine support group, what's going on? Everyone was really lovely though and offered me some wonderful advice, and I've now got a mark off on my black and white chatelaine chart, and I work out what I'm stitching on the PDF version, which I have on my laptop. So I literally have my laptop beside me here on the sofa. I've got my black and white chatelaine chart, on a European cross stitch chart, on the frame, highlight, mark off on that, but what I'm stitching and what colour I'm using and blah 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 is all on my laptop. And so I literally use both, and I would recommend marking off on a printed copy but using the coloured charts, and I couldn't print it in colour, it wasn't coming out properly, so I just use it on my laptop, and that's fine, that works fine. Doing it that way, because yeah, but I've learnt my lessons and it's coming up beautifully. I have stopped a little bit. I've done about, what did I say, 24 hours? Yeah, 23 and a half hours. That's 20, so it's gone pretty quick, considering I've ripped out, like basically ripped out one whole quarter, and then and redone it. That's going well. So that's my chatelaine. Very, very exciting. Got that on my big frame now because it's not coming off. It's going to stay on there. I took my white rabbit off and I've put it on the Q snap that it's on, which is a 17 by 11 Q snap, and that works. That's working well. And then with the chatelaine, this is what it came with. So I got my beautiful little bag of beads, which I haven't opened yet. There's even a needle in there, but I'm not using it. I've got my own needles that I like. So pretty beads. I haven't started beading. Came with a little ball of, oops, that's the camera. Little ball of, I think that's beading, for your beading thread. That's the fabric. This is the fabric it came with, just white even weave, but I'm not using that. I'll use that for something else, but I won't use that for this. And then all my goodies. The little, I've never used floss bags before. They are shitting me a little bit. Flipping through them, and then the thread's all loose. Like once you unwind it, it's all loose in the bag, which I'm finding getting out my pieces that I've started, I've put back in, haven't finished using, is a bit of a pain. I think Teresa Little Stitcher put hers on bobbins in the floss bag. I might end up doing that and then putting my little thing in. So it's got beautiful silks. I've never stitched with silks before, and I love them. They're so beautiful to stitch with. Really lovely, really nice. All my Petite Treasure braid. Karen Water Lily, and then Karen Wildflower. That's the one I misstitched. I put that one in instead of the Water Lily one, wherever that is. Dinky dyes, beautiful colours. It's hard to see, but more dinky dyes. Then there's wool type ones in here as well. They were interesting. Gloriana threads, beautiful, really lovely. And then I'm keeping, I didn't have any project bags at all, and I was just keeping in the plastic pocket this big bundle, but I was worried my cat was going to destroy it or something, so I've ordered a few project bags from so-and-so. But they take 5 to 6 weeks to be made, and then they arrive. They've got to be shipped to Australia, so I don't know when I'm going to get them. It's going to take 2 months. We'll see what they're like. I got the big jumbo. I got 2 big jumbo double zipper ones, and I got a medium-sized double zipper, and I think I got a small-sized double zipper. The reason I got the double zipper ones is I'm nervous about having my chart that I've marked off with pen and highlighters side by side with my fabric. So my thinking is I can put the chart in one zippered pocket and my fabric in the other zippered pocket. So that will be nice. And in the meantime, I ordered from a lady in Australia, and it came very quickly. I'll just put all this back. This project bag, which is my first ever project bag that I've ever owned. And it's great. I love it. It doesn't fit the chart, the chatelaine chart. Oh, I should show you the photo of the chatelaine. Sorry, I'll quickly rattle through here. Give me 2 seconds. So that's the chatelaine that I'm stitching and what it's going to look like. So I'm working on that centre circle bit at the moment. Okay, let me put that back. So back on track. So I ordered this project bag, and it's really lovely. Nice and fat bum, which is great for all this chatelaine stuff. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't fit the A4 sheet of the chart. It's too small for that, but it perfectly fits the bit of material and all the beads and everything. And then I've got a little pocket, so I'll put the beads in there and that. So that's good. It's this beautiful red botanical fabric with all sorts of lovely flowers on it. It's got a great handle, nice fat bum, and it's even got a nice little touch of a little charm on the zipper, little pair of scissors to make it easy to open and close the bag. And it's just great. It's like $35 or something Australian. Came really fast. Perfect. And it's from Mo and Me on Etsy. That's her business card. Quick service, great bag, well made, beautiful fabric, nice touches. I definitely recommend it. So that's all my WIPS at the moment. I did some sorting over Christmas, and I originally had all my charts in suitcases, like craft cases, and they were just all getting squished. They were all laying flat. Not laying flat, they were standing up, but I just felt like they were getting squished and I was running out of room. So I went to Officeworks and I bought A4 compendium folders, and I bought a whole bunch of heavy duty plastic pockets, and I went through and I pulled all my charts out and put them in plastic pockets, except for 2 or 3 which just were too big, and I didn't have any of the big plastic envelopes that you can open up, put things in. They got the Velcro. I ran out. I only bought like 3 and I probably needed about 6. So everything's now in a bookcase with the charts all hanging up in there, sorted by designer, or sorted by designer mostly, and then some things where I don't know the designer and I wouldn't look up the designer, then they're sorted by, like, say, I don't know, magazines, if they've come out of a magazine, or I don't know, like flowers or floral or gardens or something like that. So just something that if I'm looking for it, I'd go, oh, that's a French garden. I'll go, you know, I don't know the designer, but I'll know that, so I'll go find it. So that's working really well. The other thing that I did, and I'm just going to reach past the camera, is I labelled my floss boxes with the flosses that are in them with just little white labels that I hand wrote the numbers, so 925 to 3803. If things change and I no longer have those numbers in there, I'll just pop another sticker over the top. Simple. And do you know how much time that is saving me when I'm stitching? Instead of going, oh, what box is that? Where's that colour? I don't know. I just look at the side and I go, oh, it's in that box. Instead of checking, like, yeah, saving heaps of time. Should have done it years ago. Really super simple and cheap. And I did a little bit more tidying and sorting, which was good. So that's that. In terms of purchases, I think, I'm just thinking back, I don't know if they'd arrived. I don't know if in my last video I purchased Year at Hawk Run Hollow and Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, and a tree grows, and a garden grows, forest grows. And I've just realised they're in my folders over on the back wall. But I purchased them. If I didn't show them in my last video, I purchased them and they've arrived. Waiting for some fabric to arrive for 2 of them. I'm going to start a Year at Hawk Run Hollow and a Garden Grows, but I probably won't start Forest Grew. I probably won't start and a Forest Grew until I get some other stuff finished. But I'm definitely, as soon as I get it, going to start a Year at Hawk Run Hollow, because I wanted to achieve 1 of those a month. That was part of my plans, but I still don't have my fabric. So when they turn up, I'm going to start doing them. The other things that I purchased were some Q-snap frames. So I got the 11 by 17 Q-snap, which I'm stitching on. Did I show this in my last video as well? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. If I did, just fast forward this bit. 11 by 17 Q-snap, 11 by 11 Q-snap, and then I've got it pulled apart because that's how I'm storing them at the moment. 17 by 17 Q-snap, and they're good. They're working well. I'm a bit worried about them crushing the stitches. I don't know, like this 11 by 17 when I'm stitching, when I've got the Queen done and I move on to the Cheshire Cat, which is next to it, I'm not sure if I'm going, and then, so I've got to move the fabric across to the right. I'm a bit worried about the White Rabbit getting, the stitches getting crushed, and I can't wash it, I don't think, because it's hand-dyed fabric. So I might try and pad it with some fabric or something and see if that helps. It's going to be interesting. because that won't fit on my any roll frames other than my big metre by metre one that I'll put my chatelaine on, and I'm not taking that off. So that'll be interesting. And I purchased some needle minders. Purchased 4. Purchased one from A Needle Runs Through It. It's they're little wooden ones. So it's this little one. Everyone, you've probably seen it. I love craft. Oh yeah, so neat stitch. So from A Needle Runs Through It. And then from, oh, and then this one was also from these, sorry, I purchased 3 from A Needle Runs Through It. A little cup with a little smiley face. That's cute. And I love cross stitch. One of these might be a gift. And then I purchased from A Cottage Needle the frosted pumpkin, little pumpkin to go with my other one, which I might actually put on my stitching now that I've shown you, because I feel like I need another one on there. So that's cute. So that's those. So I think one of those is going to be a gift. Then part of my sparklies purchase, because I bought what I thought was going to be my chatelaine fabric, and then I wanted to see what the rest of their fabric was like, so I bought 2 other pieces of fabric. I bought this one, which I have no idea what I'm trying to, but it's going to be awesome. It's called Gothic, and it's 32 count opalescent Belfast linen. And look at that, look at the sparkle in it. Oh, it shows that really well. That is mean, and it's like blacks and blues and fantastic. So I don't know, I'm going to have fun picking something to stitch on that. And I like the colouring on them, they're very subtle. Like it's hand dyed, it's super dark, but the shading's subtle. Like it's not really obvious, like you can't see a lot of shading, but there isn't a lot of shading. It looks really, really lovely. So that's really lovely. That's a 27 inch by 27 inch piece of fabric. And then I also purchased this one. It's called Before the Storm. And it's 32 count opalescent Murano. It's 18 by 27 inches. And it's also, you can see a little bit of the sparkle, but it's not quite as sparkly as the other one. But you can see it. And it's a lovely, lovely cloudy blue. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, I know what I'm going to stitch on that. I'm going to stitch my Touching an Autumn Sky, I think, on this one. I'm sure the fabric will be big enough. So when I finish one of my other Mirabilias, finish my Nora Corbett and maybe finish maybe Isabella's Garden, I'll probably start Touching the Autumn Sky, and I'm going to stitch on this because that's beautiful. Really lovely, subtle, and that's how it looks, what you're seeing there. Really lovely, subtle blues. This is my ideal hand-dyed fabric. Just lovely, subtle colour. Everyone's got different preferences. There's no right or wrong, anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is what I love. This really beautiful, subtle colouring, and yeah, it's just delicious, delightful. Love it. So I got those as well as the oatmeal. So I'll definitely be going back to sparklies. They were wonderful. And then my last purchase, which I saw on, oh, hang on, and also from here, watching YouTube videos is bad, because I was watching, I think it was Stitcherista. She showed this chart, and oh, I thought it was fantastic. So I purchased it when I was ordering my fabric because it was available from Sparklies. Dragon Dreams Fairy Tale Sampler. Little dragon, little fairy tale dragon swords, and I liked that. I don't do samplers very often, but I thought that was very nice. It says, once upon a time is how many fairy tales first start, then add a questing maiden or a knight of pure heart. Sometimes there is a treasure, princely frog or magic blade, dangers to be conquered or long journeys to be made. Yet strength and courage triumph, to the enemy's char gain, the questing soul discovers, that the hero lies within. I like that. I thought that was beautiful. So that'll be one of my next projects that I do as well. So that was from Sparklies. I got that from Sparklies, and I saw that on Danielle Jones's video. So I got that. And then the other one that I saw from someone else, because I'm watching all these videos and can't resist, although I am seriously on a stash budget now, I'm going to blitz my 2017. Probably, I've smashed it. I'm not going to be entering the competition in the first, because of the first month, first couple of weeks of January. Even just with my stitching project bags, I like killed it. But that's okay. It's been great. It's good fun. So I won't be entering the competition for Stitch from Stash, but I'm still participating. I'm just not worrying about the numbers because, you know, I'm done. The other chart that I bought, I think this blew my budget when I bought it. Oh, it did. Which I saw on another floss tube video. I'm having a mental blank about the lady's name. I'm very sorry. I would love to give her credit because she has stitched it and it looks fantastic, and it's where I saw it and I was enabled. Can't think. But I'm sure you've all seen it anyway, is the ABC Patissiere series. And I found it on a French cross stitch site and decided to purchase it. Bloody hell though, the euro to Australian conversion and then the postage. This is like the world's most expensive chart in the whole wide world. But anyway, I don't know exactly what I'm going to stitch yet, but I'm thinking I'm going to stitch my initials or possibly my name. The only thing is, if I stitch Emily, which is my name, I don't like the L. It looks a bit crap with its little, excuse me, my nose is itchy. I don't know what they are, profiteroles or eclairs or something. So I was thinking I could stitch that if I did my name, or I could convert one of the other ones. And one of the ones that I like is the P. But see, it's got this beautiful lemon tart, and there's the L, oh, the line, and then that would be the bottom of the L, and then I just take this bit off, which is easy, the bit of the P. So I could convert that to an L, and then do Emily. Or something else. Is that a bit self-absorbed, stitching your own name? I don't know. But I stitch for myself. I don't stitch for other people. I have so many beautiful things. Hello, Maestro. You want to hop up? No? If I can pick him up, I'll show you my cat. Come here. This is one of my little monsters. Maestro, say hello to the camera. Wow. He's like, put me down. This is Maestro. He's so silky and soft. He smells awesome. And he's a little terror. He's got the cutest face. Oh. And he molts everywhere. Oh, he's sitting. And he's going. Look at this fur that just came off him. I've now got fur everywhere. And now he's having a scratch. Yeah, so I don't know. But I'm going to stitch that. Or I might do my initials. And I was thinking for my partner's nieces, I could possibly do their first letter of their name as a present, or, you know, anything. You can do all sorts of things because there's an alphabet, so you can use it for everything. So, was very excited when that arrived. And that's the last of my purchases. And they're going to dry up pretty much over the next, for various reasons. They're going to dry up. I'm not going to be buying anything else. And then that's it. So I'm just going to hop up again. These are the 3 books that I've been reading or have read over Christmas. I like the idea of talking about books. I think it's great. It's nice seeing what other people are reading, and I've got fur everywhere now. I like to see what get ideas for what to read. So the first book that I read and finished was An Almond for a Parrot by Ray Delaney. I got the printed copy from our local bookstore, and this was a fantastic book. It was really interesting. It's a bit raunchy, well, quite raunchy, so if you're not into, like, if you're not comfortable with that, this isn't the read for you. But if you're not, you know, yeah. But the blurb, so the story behind it, I'll read it. I can read it to you. So it's set in London in 1756. In Newgate Prison, Tully Truegood awaits trial. Her fate is hanging in the balance. She tells her life story. It's a tale that takes her from a skivvy in the back streets of London to a conjurer's assistant to a celebrated courtesan at her stepmother's fairy house, the notorious house of ill repute where decadent excess is a must. Tully was once the talk of the town. Now, with the best seats at Newgate already sold in anticipation of her execution, her only chance of survival is to get her story to the one person who can help her truly avoid the gallows. And it's Tully Truegood, orphan, whore, magician's apprentice, murderer, question mark. Great story. Interesting read, fast. It keeps you captured the whole time. And it has a nice ending. It's a happy ending. So, yeah, good book. I enjoyed that one. Second book that I'm reading at the moment, and I'm going to actually watch the movie today, which probably... You don't generally watch the movie while you're reading the book because you're generally disappointed, but I'm having a stitching day. It's been a tough week, and my partner's at cricket. It's me, the cats, and the 2 dogs, and I am going to stitch and watch movies. And the book that I'm reading and thoroughly enjoying, which I also bought from my local bookstore, just up the street. I'm very lucky I live in a coastal town, and we have a wonderful bookshop up the street, is Tim Burton's, the film is by Tim Burton. The book is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and it's by Ransom Riggs. And I'm going to watch the movie today, and that's the book and the cover. And it's fun. It's a fun read. It's interesting. It's creative. It's a good book. Sorry, I'll read you the blurb. I hadn't seen this before I found it in the bookstore. I didn't even know it had been a movie. I don't get to the movies very often, very rarely. I didn't even know it had been a movie, and it's already on Apple iTunes to watch. So it's obviously been out for a while, but I don't know. So the blurb is: a mysterious island, an abandoned orphanage, a mysterious island, an abandoned orphanage, a strange collection of peculiar photographs. It all waits to be discovered in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, an unforgettable novel that mixes fiction and photography in a thrilling reading experience. As our story opens, a horrific family tragedy sets 16-year-old Jacob journeying to a remote island off the coast of Wales, where he discovers the crumbling ruins of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. As Jacob explores its decaying bedrooms and hallways, it becomes clear that Miss Peregrine's children were more than just peculiar. They may have been dangerous. They may have been quarantined on a desert island for a good reason. And somehow, impossible though it seems, they may still be alive. Lovely book. Good story. Did you notice this? You wouldn't have seen it. It's my European cross-stitch ribbon that came with my Chatelaine kit because I didn't have a bookmark, so I used a ribbon. And it's a good book. It's fun. And I'm just reading it bit by bit, and I'm really enjoying it. So I would recommend that. And then the other book that I'm reading that I got for Christmas is Like a Queen by Constance Hall. She's an Australian lady. She lives in Perth. She runs a Facebook page. She's like a blogger. She does. She's a mother of 4 children, and I'm not a parent or anything like that, but she's super funny. She's very dry, and she doesn't hold any punches or hold anything back, and she tells it like she sees it. She's very entertaining. You don't have to be a parent or a mother to read and follow her. I'm not either. I'm not. And I find her highly entertaining. So this is just her story, her advice. Focuses around being a parent and being a mother and that sort of thing. But it's also about being a woman and standing up for yourself and knowing that you're not alone in the things that happen in your life, and you know, most people are going through similar things or the same things as we are, as you know, women are in relationships and with children and families and all that sort of thing. There's some funny stuff she talks. You just got to read it. I killed myself laughing when I was reading this. It's very, very funny. I haven't finished reading it, about halfway through. I read the first half in the first night, and then I thought I've got to stop, otherwise I'm going to read it too fast. But it's a very, very funny book, with a lot of her own personal insight. Well, it's her book and her story. So, good book, funny read, recommend it. Whether you've got kids or not. And that's everything on my list. Oh, I'm just going to pick up the iPad and I will turn it around and I will show you my stand. That was my other purchase. I just forgot it. So, just going to bear with me for the wobbly camera. I'm going to try. Oh. Okay. I'm going to stop this. And then I'm going to start again in a second. So give me a minute. Okay, so ignore my really ordinary camera work. Trying not to wobble the screen too much. This is a stand that I bought from it's called the Needleworker stand by Mike Rowlands on Etsy. I got the extra tall one. There was two, and you can see it's really well made. It's really stable. It's got the, sorry, I'm just going to try and point. It's got the, change this. It's got the chart stand at the top, which my headphones are hanging off, but I actually use that to sit my iPad on, and it works really well. There's a magnet and a little paper clip that you can see. I don't know what they're for, but I just hang my scissors there, and that's a great spot. There's a couple of other holes for adjusting the lengths of the positioning, because you can adjust it in all sorts of different ways. The arms that the frame's sitting on are adjustable in length and width, that you can see multiple holes. The chart stand is adjustable angle wise. The height's adjustable. The angle's adjustable. You can see the little pointy bit down the bottom. The whole thing's really, really adjustable, and it's really stable, and it works really well. And I've got, there's holes. I've put my tweezers in one. And I've put my unpicker in another hole. And it all works. It's a really, really good stand. I really enjoy using it. I was using the F8 Edmund stand, and it just doesn't take the big 1 meter cross stitch frame. I'm just moving back that I've got. So this is my setup. Ignore my golf clubs in the back. You can see my light that I use. It props over my work, and I have my chart hanging off it. So the chart holder, I have my chart, and then the I put my iPad on the chart frame on the cross stitch floor stand. And then this is where I stitch. So I sit there with cushions behind me. I don't understand, this is like not zooming out. I'm just moving back, sorry about this. I sit in the middle, and I have all cushions and blankets propped up around me to support my arms and my body, so I don't get aches and pains, and it's all very relaxed and comfortable. So that's my little cross stitch corner with all my stuff piled up and my frames and stuff. And then, yeah, I sit in the middle, and I have blankets, and I'll put all that stuff away. That's all the stuff from my video, but yeah, all around me. And it's great, really comfy, and good setup. Well, I like it. I'm comfortable. So yeah, I'll just stop this now. So now that it's become apparent that I don't know how to zoom out on my iPad, you see my stitching area and all the blankets and pillows around me that I have to keep me comfy. And I think this is going to be a long video, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed seeing my stitchy spot and the work that I've done and the things that I've purchased. I hope you have a wonderful wonderful month ahead. I probably won't do another video for till probably February. I hope you've had a very wonderful Christmas and a very happy New Year, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really appreciate it. Ciao.